on. Filling my stack, yeah, high and long. Time is on, I am a bomb. Golden touch, got a mind that's on. Hey, on a wave, from the cave to main stage. I'm about to engage. Raise the price of my wage. Didn't know how man stay fly, man, I just that guy and I work rate high. Didn't know how man stay lit, man, I just move quick and I stay active. Didn't know how man stay boss, man, I pay that cost, long nights on the job. Didn't know, I'm a pro. Didn't know, I'm in the zone. In my zone, yeah, I feel at home. Silence on my phone, focus on my goals, whoa.
Who will ascend to VCT EMEA 2025?
And with that dominant showing on this map, Desire once again keep the dream alive. Now it's slightly out of their hands, but they did what they could with this dominant victory. We have a winner's interview for you now. Wacky will be joining us for a quick chat. So first things first, of course, congratulations on the dub. How are you feeling right now?
First of all, hello. Thank you so much. We are feeling okay, especially me. Finally had a game where I could get a fair duels. So finally I'm a bit satisfied, you know.
A bit satisfied. You should be very satisfied. That was an insane victory. Very, very dominant showing. Let's talk about the match a little bit. Icebox was your pick. We haven't seen a lot of you on this very map. Could you tell us why you wanted to take them there?
I think because we already showed Heaven a lot of times, and it was already too late to change the comp. The comp we played, it worked twice if I remember well, and that comp has not much tools to play around. So yeah, we wanted to try our Icebox on live.
That's fair. I mean, that was about as dominant as it gets. What were the comms like after that victory? I mean, that was a beatdown.
I would say the comps, in the end everyone screamed, of course, but overall during that series everything was calm. Turns out we are the best team in the world when we have no pressure.
You feel like that's a no pressure situation? I mean, you have to get those dominant victories right now. That was not in the back of your mind?
Not really, because we knew we could beat them, we knew we can beat them. That's what happened. It's just that after the first day of the match, we had a good conversation about, like we rewatched the way we spoke and etc. And after that, everyone just became a different player, I would say. Everyone became a more calmer.
That's it. Yeah, I guess that's the mentality you have to have. And I mean, you and the team, you're coming off of such a flawless season. How did you and the guys deal with losing your first few matches here in the groups? How did you rally the troops to like kind of just brush that off? Because I don't think you guys are that accustomed to losing.
Yeah, that's the thing. That was the main point of coming flawlessly. That a team like us, a young team, cannot be unbeatable. They need to have the feeling of loss too, you know. Otherwise, it's gonna be dangerous. Like in the league we played, not a lot of teams could try out us, and it was important to lose, but you know, at what cost in the end?
I mean, losing is learning, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure everyone made his own conclusion after the loss, because I can already see after a few days we are completely different players, the way we approach and etc.
That's good. That's great to hear, honestly. Now my next one is a two-part question. What made you so dominant during the regular season? Do you feel like that was just the lack of competition in your region? And also, what caused that slow start in the Ascension group stage? Was it just, again, better competition?
Yes. About the competition in Italian league, I would say it's no one is on the same level. We were better, but you know, like one guy said, everyone can win in Italy, but not everyone can be unbeatable during a year, because keeping the flawless streak is pretty hard mentally. Like you need to give your 100% no matter what enemy you play. But it also sits in your mind. About Ascension, I believe we just choked. Yeah, we just choked at the start. It's painful to see it now, like knowing that we could go deeper, but we just choked at the start.
Right on. I mean, this is your second time fighting your way through Ascension. How did the two experiences compare for you? How was it last year compared to this year?
Last year it was, I would say we were studying along. This year we came prepared, but since we didn't have a lot of competition during the year, it was like we couldn't test like the chokeness, the nerves, you know, and it catched us in the end.
Right on. Now, unfortunately, as you said, your fate is out of your own hands. You did what you could with the dub here today. But now you do need Apex to lose against Barca. What are your thoughts on that matchup? Any words of encouragement for Barca?
I mean, I would say never underrate Lucas Rojo. You never know what Barca can make. So 2-0 is possible. Apex probably could be pressured. Same as Connect, maybe they were pressured. I don't know. Because the game felt flawless. I don't know, maybe they gave up, whatever. But yeah, you can expect anything from Lucas Rojo and his team. I believe they can make 2-0.
Well, you and all your fans, and of course the Barca fans, will be rooting for that. That match is starting, by the way, in 20 minutes from now, roughly. So everyone make sure to go on over there and cheer them on as well. Now, before I say goodbye to you, I want to give you an opportunity to address your team, your fans, anything you want to say to them.
Thanks for supporting us. I hope we prove that we are not just a talent team, we can compete on the same level. Thanks for supporting us, and sorry that we kind of let you down.
Man, with a performance like that today, that was not a letdown. Wacky, thank you so much for joining me for a quick chat, and best of luck in this tiebreaker scenario.
Thank you so much.
And that was Wacky from Desire. What an incredible performance from him today. But yeah, you can tell that it hurts. You can tell that it hurts when you turn it up just a little too late. Those group stages in round robin are so crucial. Every match matters.
It really
Hazard,
does.
don't hate me. Don't
Okay,
hate me.
go
but
on.
now I want Barca to win so bad.
It's funny you
So
say that.
bad.
My favorite part of the interview was where he said it's Lucas Rojo, anything can happen. That's definitely one way of putting it, I think. We have to remember here, though, the teams that he has coached are yet to win a game in Ascension. And it means that if Barca do lose this next game, Spain is going to be the lowest ranked region across both events.
Yo, now I feel personally
partnerships.
attacked.
Just
Now I
saying.
feel
No reason we had to
Just
bring it
saying.
up with Kakuka.
I was
That's
just
interesting.
saying, I hope that they win, but now you're just making this personal. Okay, I'll see you at the studio.
Oh,
Maybe
okay.
without Apex,
Well,
because Barca's definitely.
it's
She
okay.
just
I'm used to
she just
Apex
dropped the
losing in the
ICU on
studio,
LAN.
so it's not a problem.
She dropped the ICU on LAN.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Harry,
You better
I'd
not
be-
dodge
I'd be
it.
scared.
I will have to respond.
Well, man, this is a heartbreaker in a way for Desire, but Barca will have to fight it out for them now instead. It's going to be remaining interesting until the very end of the day, it looks. So let's shift gears. Let's talk about our next match here and get ready for all the action between MOUZ and Job Life. The stakes here are a bit more simple. Job Life, if they win, they're in. MOUZ, if they win, then the ultimates are actually in, since MOUZ unfortunately is already out. Now, if we're talking about Job Life, they played against Pacific just yesterday. They won. Or no, they didn't win. They lost 2-0, and it was a rough one too. Job Life was rusty on their own map pick and fairly disjointed on Lotus as well, Kakuka.
Yeah, I think that is the fact that this map of Ascend, they started with a very good offense, right? I think that the timeouts from Pacific were amazing. Like the understanding of how to adapt into this game was on a different level. But once it got to Lotus, it was a different beast. It was a 13-2, but it was 13 rounds in a row that Pacific was able to get with all of this aggression coming in from Comeback and Ladok. It's an impossible situation to be playing up against. It's sometimes in life things do not work, and against Pacific, nobody can make it work in Ascension. So I still think that it speaks volumes for what Pacific has been achieving so far, but I wouldn't take it too harshly on Job Life because of that loss.
100%. Yeah, I think you look at Pacific as a team here, one that has now qualified to playoffs as well. how young some of these guys are, but how mature they are at the same time. And how Lotus speaking to you at the start of the day, Zoe, and the things that he was saying really fill you with confidence. You're talking about a guy who was the Grand Finals MVP of the Turkish region, which not only with the depth that it has is crazy, but he dropped a +32 on controller. Like, this guy is shooting well above his years. Comeback's looking like a CNED regen. It's all coming together for me. It is the Cinderella story to be looking at for Ascension, and I mean that globally.
Right on. I think another thing we took away from yesterday's match and discussed a little bit on the desk there as well, Sam brought it up actually, was if we're looking at the individuals, I mean, yeah, Job Life, they played very exec heavy. More often than not though, Yas went down really early. It's not a problem, of course, if they convert that death into an advantage, but let's take a look at how Yas actually compares to Zus. Am I saying it right? Saying it wrong. For sure.
Sussy.
Yas and Sus. Anyway, here's a comparison for you. First death rate, obviously. Yas has struggled.
Yeah, I think he's been struggling, and now in this head-to-head that we're going to see today, Sux is so good at finding the advantages when it comes to the operators, when it comes to the early duels, and he will be the one capitalizing on Justice having a bad day. We were seeing it just now with Alexic not being able to win the first duels, even to go into a fight that was favoring him in many scenarios. And if this situation is to happen again, I feel like I know who's going to come on top.
This is a really interesting head-to-head as well, because Zus, a player who had a couple of stints on Anonymo, most recently last year, Yas from Zero Tenacity, they played each other 4 times in Best of Ones last season, and Zus won every single head-to-head except for the most recent in April last year. Of course, the stakes there, not as big, all the Best of Ones too. This is a longer series. Who's going to be able to hold out? Zus already having posted the highest kill record just in Ascension in BO3s. Yeah, what a fight this is going to be.
Hopefully it's going to be a good one. I mean, Kakuka, if we're looking at that MOUZ squad in general, we talked actually to Benny from CGN yesterday, the fellow German, who's obviously rooting for the German team MOUZ, but he also was of the opinion, and I think the community kind of is on the same consensus, that MOUZ are underperforming in this group stage. Where did you have them heading into this?
I mean, actually, I was very excited coming into the tournament. This was one of the teams that I was looking forward to the most, I would say. Probably I slept on some other teams, but this one is one that I was, you know, rooting for, because there's a lot of names that we recognize from the past, faces that have been in the game for a very, very long time. So when I saw them a little bit, you know, yeah, I'm gonna say underperforming, not being able to even close some advantages and whatnot, I just wonder how they're going to perform today, knowing that they're out. I know that you need to think about next year, and I hope that that's exactly what they're focusing on today.
It's what Benny was saying in the interview yesterday as well. He can tell that MOUZ are underperforming. Sure, it's a surface level assessment, but that guy's going to know better than anyone else. He's put them in the dirt already 3 times this year, being the only time that they've actually managed to get the once over on them. That includes even just taking a playoff win against CGN. With the amount of depth that Duck has, it was always going to be a title with a burden for them to carry into this tournament and find results. And I think, look, if you can take a win against Job Life here, a team which was built to succeed in this competition, then it does offset a little bit of that. Sure, it doesn't fully make up for it, but I think MOUZ could definitely prove a lot of people wrong here, as it's a long-term project which has continued to build up until this point.
Yeah, I'm sure they're so eager, since MOUZ as an org, they just barely missed out last year on Ascension, and they came back rejuvenated for this season to really try to make that work, Akuka.
Yeah, exactly. So from today, I want to see a different face. I want to see the MOUZ that I expected to see during this competition. Again, I think it's extremely important to fight until your last breath. And still, there are things at stake. Even if it's not for them, you can capitalize on the pressure that the other team is on, knowing that if they lose, like, everything in the group stage comes down to the last match. I like that. I think that is the narrative that we should go for, even if it's for a team like Apex and Barca. I want to see them play it to the last of their breaths.
But that's the thing, right? Like, even if you yourself are technically already out, you still want to go out with a bang, right? You still want to have that good performance. So now we see MOUZ banning Ascend, obviously their permaban, Job Life. It's probably going to take out Abyss. Yeah, there it is. So yeah, nothing has changed there. Waiting for that first pick from MOUZ. I'm very interested to see where they are going to take us.
Okay. I mean it makes sense, right?
So
like
many
MOUZ wins against Pacific, the only map that they've dropped so far, and JobLife loses yesterday against Pacific. But in my head, I am thinking if I am JobLife, I just, because you changed the composition yesterday, I just go back to the same old. Maybe it's something that you know, you wanted to try out, didn't work, and maybe MOUZ is trying to spot a weakness that they can go against. But if they do the same as Pacific was doing, just being extra aggressive and not allowing them to have any piece in the map, concerning, yeah.
Stylistically, for me, I feel like there's a really important matchup to look at here, and that's JobLife's defense-sided proactivity mid-round versus how MOUZ can like to play really slow sometimes, group up in certain areas of the map. Definitely something they should be looking to try and exploit here.
Find the bind pick interesting for JobLife there as well. If we're looking at the results from both teams, very mixed, so interesting to see what kind of plan they have heading into this one. Now, if we're looking or honing in rather on Lotus, what those agents select are going to be looking like is going to be very interesting, because quite frankly, JobLife, every single time they played Lotus, they rocked up with a different comp. Yesterday's comp did not work out, and we did talk about how that might not be good for longevity if you really want to establish yourself on a map.
Yeah, like I understand. It's not like they went into a wacky comp. It wasn't like a foot kind of moment where they just appear with no initiator and a sage, right? They go to a composition that is very well known, that has worked in the past, and probably was a one-time thing that they wanted to try against Pacific. So I'm only excited to see what we're gonna get from MOUZ, because I want to see that Euro, and they're actually going back.
Okay, this is interesting.
Hey.
JobLife as well, bringing the Sova out. I think I would have liked to see the Neon with this, because they were running Fade alongside it before. I didn't feel like the utility was as good supportively, but to be honest, the Gecko's looking good. With the way that MOUZ play, they've gone back to the Yoru as well. I preferred the Neon for them also, because they like to do a lot of re-clearing into the late round. They pressure certain areas of the map. They come back, the stuns. You saying no?
No, man. Sauce was unreal against Pacific.
Okay.
Like, he was 10-3 in those initiating duels, and with the mobility that he has, how good he is in the operator, that is definitely a winning factor for them.
Let's see.
Let's see indeed. So let's hand it over to Cairo and Steel for all the action.
Well, the stakes have been set here still. We know exactly what we need to look for. It is either a win for JobLife, or if MOUZ win, a win for MENA and the Ultimates. What are you thinking coming into the first map of Lotus?
You know, after the last series we watched, I don't know if I want to put my comments out there right now. I definitely look at how JobLife play, and I look to see how strong they can be, but I've also seen that they can play down to a certain level, and I do wonder if they will have MOUZ's number in some of these crucial moments with the way that they play, where they have good protocols and they have good textbook style, but they can get a little bit greedy. And we saw that, you know, when the two of us casted them playing against the Ultimates, for example, they can get really greedy. And if MOUZ slow play that and punish those kinds of aggression, then we could see a game on our hands here. So it's going to be interesting to see which way this plays out, because I love being proven wrong.
Well, hopefully we do see that with JobLife. Again, yeah, as you said, starting on the attack, love to play around the map, and with MOUZ on the defence, a lot of contact, and that's always been the style that comes out of Germany, CGN, probably the pioneers of it. The rest of the teams have their own little twist, but for the most part, big part is that contact style.
As you say that, very slow opening from JL here. Trying not to walk into that. They see that breach on the other side. They know that a trap could follow suit. You can see how passive they are, trying to bait this out, tap that orb, see if there is a response. But the setup is towards that A. As soon as that revolving door opens up, that's where the trap is set for JobLife. They don't know it, but that C site is ripe for the taking.
It's the best option. B would probably be that crunch that you could see. Mikey so deep on A. It's crazy, we're almost like 20-30 seconds into the round and nothing really has happened. Finally the players move out and they're just contacting up against MOUZ, using it against them. The paranoia, I mean, catching 2 players start, now he needs to hold on, calling for support, the players come out, and it's just 2 right clicks that work their way. The pistols of MOUZ have been far too easily finding capitalisation. Spike down, and Mikey's been clutched before, but to ask him anything more than 1 kill would probably be too much. Oh, he's found 2, okay, maybe there is more. No, Just will get that kill. It will be 1-0 to MOUZ, starting on Lotus.
That first shot as well looked like he wasn't even aiming for the first player. It's almost as if he was aiming for the guy closer up, and the accidental burst fire right here. He's aiming for Yaz and he hits Kamek. It's just so unfortunate, but that's going to be a start for MOUZ, and a very cautious approach you can see from Joblife, not wanting to fall into that breach stun trap, but instead they fall into the shock trap.
I think as well, Joblife coming into this series started pretty much slowly, right? As things have been going on. They had a good series against Saw. It was a tentative one moving on towards the Ultimates, and well, they're trying to get things started off right here, lighting up plenty of the players, but it's Stark once again who gets the double for MOUZ.
You did good.
Wingman picked up. And the Bulldog as well. So 3 versus 4, that is winnable if they're able to pick and isolate the right fights. As you see, MOUZ is split up around the map. They got the Cypher trips towards that A site to set up Zus, but all these other players are split. It's just Stark alone. Yes, he has 2 kills in this round, and he was big on that pistol round. As I'm going through the motions of this Joblife, finally deciding where they want to go with just over 40 seconds left in the round. They're still transitioning. It means that it's going to be an all-in play here. The 2 tripwires, the camera for the retake, and potentially a really fast rotate. Stuns up for Breach as well. He can definitely get that across the map.
Left.
Joblife, you got to go.
Gotta. I mean, this is the perfect fight to take. Isolated, and there's no TPs to get away for us. Sure, he's great with the scoped weapons, but respect has to be shown to the smokes that are being sent his way to keep angles close. Well, they're not even considering it. Wingman will probably get that spike down, but Zus will be able to drop 2 players. It's as simple as that on the retake, with only 1 Bulldog being dropped, and that'll be easily recollected.
We're going to have a game on our hands starting now. That plant's going to give a little bit of buffer economy for Joblife, but a good cleanup for MOUZ. In that 4 versus 3, they didn't lose any other players. Our first gun round coming in here. We already saw the approach from Joblife, trying to dodge out these breach stuns. I wouldn't be surprised to see them utilize some sort of kind of like misdirection. Try to bait out that stun, try to bait out the setups. We saw it, how they tapped the orb, ready to punish a swing on that pistol round already. To expect more of that is a no-brainer.
4-1 setup so far. Yaz trying to be so quick into the smoke, and players, oh, they're all light up, but they can't quite get the shots off. Oh, this is not looking good. It's not pretty whatsoever, and Joblife will get the damage done early doors. Players are still marked up from the earlier haunt that was sent their way, but as they start to move in, and the Wingman tries to get the spike down, Zus still continues on. He's denied the spike, but he's been denied his own life. Now Fizzy in a 1 versus 3, and if there's anybody in a 1 versus X, it would have to be the Portuguese man.
Spike planted.
1 versus 3. This is difficult. Way that Joblife is splitting up right now, though. 2 on the mound, 1 on the site. Would have been an opening had he found Kamek, but instead put in the ground. Joblife find their first round, and that's the bonus round gone from MOUZ. So first gun versus gun round coming up right here, and already an attempt, and a close attempt as well. They got everything they needed there. The haunt getting the scan inside the smoke, but the follow-up wasn't there. The stun missed all the players on the attacking side, and Joblife coming out on top of a situation where MOUZ easily could have found themselves some opening picks.
Yeah, some familiarity between the two teams, with Fizzy playing up against his former, I guess, rival coach, right, Lohan, who was in the Portuguese with GTZ, and played against Robbie BK when Robbie was the captain of GTZ. Now, look at this, straight in towards the site. There'll be nothing much that can be found, which will allow for the Thrash to be, or should be, in a perfect spot to be recollected, but no. Fizzy's setup still stays the same. The players don't want to try and go any further forward. Fizzy giving up a big kill because that now means the site can be moved into, but Job Life, they go elsewhere. Moving up from stairs, and Stark's all on his own. Players just being left to fight on themselves. No tradability whatsoever. It's not great at all. The Flash gets extra information. Obnox still not being caught. Alluri making inroads from the stairs, and now this is doable. Up against Kamek. I know everybody knows. In terms of the performance, sometimes it hasn't been there. Spike being half, the smoke gone allows Kamek to be played in, and Alluri having to try and run it down, get close to it, aftershock in. Where is your gun? It's not there, allowing Kamek to get the clutch over the line.
If he had pulled his gun out, he has a big chance there. I wonder what happened. It looked like there was some sort of hesitation. He wasn't able to get it out in time, but that's going to be Job Life picking up yet another round. And I love the approach, what they do there. When they get that spike planted on the site, clearing it with the Thrash, you have to wonder, did like you see this push in from MOUZ, looking to take that timing after Thrash has cleared the site. Fizzy goes in, trying to take that timing, and you want to allow your players that freedom to go for those plays, but at the same time, that was a round that they needed to win there. Put on the Sheriffs and a Guardian. This is when their ultimates are coming online as well.
Sus straight towards the other side of the map, moving the better weaponry round, and Magic just holding on towards what is the upgrade for any MOUZ player. They're starting to really push the limits as well, MOUZ. You can see with the Alluri moving in towards B main and just close by, there's perhaps an idea of what they want to do.
Right now, Job Life grouping towards B, and that's where the 4-man defensive stack is. They have that Euro ultimate and the man advantage to do a retake on C.
Oh, but the guns need to be good. The shots need to be just clean. It's not clean at all. It's MOUZ who come out on top, and it's us once again. Robbie BK out of nowhere. And a 1 versus 2 has time to stabilise, and he's isolated on towards Obnox. There's plenty of rifles for Fizzy to collect. But it's all about that spike plant, and time is ticking away. 1v1 up against Fizzy, sees the player, but Fizzy gets over the line. A clutch for him, and a round straight back after losing that to Job Life.
These back and forths right now, it really could go either direction. Some of the ways that the rounds are playing out come down to small timings or one crucial kill here or there. This stack proving very difficult to break through, and no utility invested to clear that site out from the side of Job Life. They thought maybe there would be one player that can go in together and trade it out with a contact round, but it's not what actually happens for them.
TU sitting back in the Riot Games arena watching the game go on. The boys have had a massive performance so far, and to go one better, I mean, they've all like the best series score that anybody's ever had coming out of MENA. To go one better, qualify for playoffs, go further than any team has gone before, would be monumental for them. As for now, Job Life looking to recreate the story which Gentlemates had last year.
A space taken, waiting for the group. They have a couple of Vandals. They have that Hunter's Fury and an Omen Teleport, but I don't know if they're going to invest that in this type of round. It's just a Cypher and the Fade to defend against this as well. As Breach in position to get a send off on that main entrance, but I don't know if it's going to be able to hit that tree room.
Fizzy, he's looking for the timing out of the smoke, combined by the Haunt.
See that positioning on Mikey, close at the front B. They want to fake A and go B here at the pivot.
That's nice from Yaz, but he doesn't realise that Fizzy's taking the time and straight back. That'll be easy. Player to the good again. spike to go down on what it looks to be a free site, but the players are stacked up and ready to go. Hidden in corners and playing in spots that MOUZ might find hard to clear. Actually, look at this. Playing off the back of the Hunter's Fury. More players walking in, and it's easy in terms of where the crosshair's placed. Nothing much to dislodge them. Nothing much to move the players that were up on Heaven. And now the op just holds on to main. Time is ticking away though, and that's something to keep your eye on. And it's up to Robbie BK, or sorry, Mikey once again. A player who's been so good for a clutch, but the clutch just doesn't seem to be happening at all for Job Life. That's another round to MOUZ, who are playing for MENA.
MOUZ right now are doing a really good job of that, and obviously, yeah, you could see from the camera the other round, it's what it means, but I love this push through the door, taking that timing, really questioning right now the decision from Job Life to pop that Hunter's Fury and do this push through Heaven. I kind of get the idea behind it after losing your player, Yaz, outside that A area, but right now, the way that MOUZ is setting up with a very passive setup on defense, setting up these traps and playing for the retakes, you'd expect Job Life to take a little bit more space and have better flanks in position to deal with this in the late rounds.
Pressure, MOUZ are reacting to this so quickly, sending it in towards the spot on towards A, the re-clear. I mean, the op that Zeus has, players on Job Life need to be careful. And Yas last time, remember, was the one that stuck around. And with the shot, gave away his position. Zeus gets the entry kill once again. That's at least 3 rounds in a row that MOUZ have found success in that front.
And again, Job Life maybe potentially even playing a little bit too slow in this round. They want to do some sort of fake towards B, hit that door and go C with it. They do have that drone, but the spike is on that Sova. Robbie, the front of B. He has to cross through. Zess is up here, and this is going to be difficult to be able to get through. He might have to run all the way back through. Oh, he just crosses with that dart.
Yeah, dimensional drift straight in. Stark in the meantime, he stopped the players getting out of C, and there's so many ultimates being sent in towards C Mound. And all it is denying the sound. Robbie BK, he's trying to get out on B, but time is running out for the Nightfall, and it's value. Oh, the fake out has completely worked against him. Robbie BK found something back, but it's still a 1 versus 3. Yeah, it's another round towards MOUZ, and at this point, I'm expecting Lohan to introduce himself for the first time in this matchup.
Oh man, that was a spray transfer while full blind. He was going for that first target, instantly connects with that second one with a crisp block, but you have to wonder there. It's like, how did he do that? But he was still full blind. I thought for sure he was going to be able to flick back to Zeus right after that, right after he kills Obnot on that transfer. But MOUZ with great control off the back of Zeus's opening picks with the operator. You're right. Job Life call the breaks right now. They have 4 ultimates right now in play, but they have to potentially do an eco round behind it. And what's been happening, if we break it down, it has been walking into operators, and they have double initiator to be able to flush this out. I do like their approach where they're trying to use these revolving doors, trying to use the map to its advantage to be able to create these fakes, put this misdirection in play, but it's not been paying out. It breaks down right at the beginning of the round when they lose one early, or right at the end of the round. It's just one crucial pick off, and Job Life overreact and give the round away. If they clean those moments up, the start of the rounds where they're getting into the sites, using those doors as fakes, that's been working for them. I want to see them continue to use this.
The weakest of the sites would be A, obviously, with Fizzy so far back. You should be able to hear any sort of sound that gets sent his way. Yaz has bought up a stinger if he sends himself further forward, and Fizzy looking to reposition himself. It's more of what you said before in terms of using the doors, etc., to fake out. Whether this is actually the committal though, it looks like it is going to be. Remember, Showstopper's still there, and Zeus's op just does not seem to miss. It gets more and more sad as Job Life try to make their way through. MOUZ holding on, players getting flashed up. There's information to be had and to work off of. Zeus is contacting his way through, and still he finds Mikey, even though Mikey was in the better spot. MOUZ, they're just collapsing in on the A site. Magic with just a bucky in hand. He's not going to get the damage that he's looking for, nor the timing. Every player knows exactly where he is, and it will be at least even on the half for MOUZ.
I'm not even sure if the old Bucky would have won a round like that. That's just so difficult to break through. 1 versus 5. It's a flawless round again for MOUZ, picking this up in the opening pick, going in the way of Zeus and Joblife. They had the ultimates to work with, and I'm surprised they didn't try to combo in either a Dizzy or a Thrash before that Showstopper goes in blind into the situation. Picked out of the sky. It doesn't even get really any air before he gets picked off. But MOUZ, again, extending that lead, still have that Rolling Thunder for whatever trap or retake they need. Still Lockdown and Thrash in play for the attacking side. Now on a gun round, though.
That's something about MOUZ. Like, they are playing from their new centre that they've made, the new HQ. It was just recently opened. Joblife, they're actually playing from home still. Decided that they wanted to play more from comfortability than being in together.
Well, if they lose this, it's definitely going to be more comfortable being at home than being out away from the comforts. A win is something that they need to get going. And still, they took that space early. They slowed down. They're waiting for this reaggress, but Zeus has been in this position before, and he's been winning the pick. This time, he goes down. And that's an opening that JL must desperately needed.
Yeah, I mean, that's it. Like, too many targets for Zeus to try and flick onto. And they went straight in towards B. They don't have control of main, though. And Yaz knows all about it. The dangers and where it could come from. Spike finally being committed, and now the players, they change their eyesight towards Heaven, and Robbie gets another. Nice adaptation from Joblife to contact in, catch the players off guard. The second use of a Thrash will catch Fizzy, and it should be an easy finish to this one.
Last player remaining.
Yeah, Stark all on his lonesome. Still, a good run from Joblife.
I want to see them be able to get this last kill on Stark and make this flawless round, because this was MOUZ just getting a flawless round the round prior. And one thing I learned from watching Joblife, especially the last series against the Ultimates that we cast together, was I was trying to count them out a little bit too early when I'm seeing them against the Ultimates, and I thought it was going to be a 2-0 loss for them. Stark, are you going to be able to hang on to this? Nope. It looked really bad, but then they come back, they bring it really close in the first game. The second game, they bring it to OT, they narrowly take it through, they go into third. Everything is just super close. And right now, yeah, the round lead is building for MOUZ, but I don't want to count Joblife out just yet. There's still life in them. We see it here as they're hunting them down, the three of them together. They have the right ideas in a lot of these cases. They've just been unlucky to get put down by Zeus's op. That's been a major point, basically, this whole half.
I think as well, it's not as if when Joblife move on to the defense that all hope is lost. Like, something that we were talking about when we casted that Joblife Ultimates game was Joblife's defensive read was usually spot on, especially on bind, if you remember right. They were just maybe taking themselves a step too far.
Just an overextension, absolutely. You're right. They did have a read on what was going on, and I think they do it here too. It's all about that execution and about going for too much when you're good with what you got.
Fin to be lockdown ready. This will be able to buy the space. Hopefully they don't move too soon.
That's a breach ultimate lined up. Okay, never mind.
I think they're probably going to wait to use this for when the lockdown finishes and they're ready to go straight back in. For the most part though, Joblife not playing too close on the site, not playing together. Magic being used as a late win condition, and Robbie BK's actually escaped the Rolling Thunder that was coming in. Magic being found, but Robbie BK hasn't. His rifle doesn't hit the shot. Mikey's does. Nice little change onto targets. Hello. He's completely bought them out the round. Stark.
And they know where Stark is.
Yeah, exactly. Because of Magic earlier, that spike will go down easy. Sure, the time will be low.
10 seconds left.
Now it's up to Stark again.
Huge kills from Mikey there as well. He's got the operator to pick up. They can both double up in tree. Look straight ahead on an off angle. Unless that door opens, they know there's only one spot Stark can be in. Satchels ready to knock him off the spike.
They've just doubled up. No information really being given away by both teams as they see the smoke go up on the spike. They know where it could be, and as you said, it's all up to the Satchels. Mikey will get his fourth, and so will Job Life after a massive round from the Clutchmeister himself.
Those shots were dirty, even with Zust getting that first pick off with that operator again. Just Mikey. Just 2 bullets apiece. That's all he needs to connect with the headshot.
That goes there. This goes here. Oh, this is a nice spot.
Gonna be another round for the side of Job Life, chipping away at the economy. The last purchase potentially for the defensive side of MOUZ here, but another operator in play. The counter op on the side of Yaz.
Yeah. But yeah, look at where Zus's position is. It's not traditional. And he's just gone double. Trying to get one more. He can't quite do it. Robbie will punish it, but the damage has already been done still.
Image indeed. Mikey down. Had a huge last round, 4K. But a very aggressive position from Stark here. If he goes down, this site is exposed. The numbers advantage gone. And it's just not worth it. Magic. Omen diffs.
Oh,
gets the better of him, and now the site's exposed.
Yeah, that should be free to walk in, shoot, like, invest in the drone, make sure that there's nothing else that can catch you off guard. In the meantime, like MOUZ, they're just going to go and re-clear everywhere else on the map to make sure that nothing can catch them off guard.
Spike planted.
Spike planted for Mound. The attackers resetting, clearing their flank, double checking this because it's been so long since they've seen another enemy. Once they've re-cleared this position though, they know it's safe to move back to the Mound. They know where the retake's coming in from, and Robbie has that Hunter's Fury to use on that spike. Kamek just gonna play in to create that extra pressure, bleed a little bit more time. MOUZ, you gotta go now.
Gotta be quick. Hunter's Fury in. And remember, there's also the Dizzy to play off of. Magic, though, he's been caught, and so is Kamek. We're back to a 1 versus 1, but Robbie doesn't have control of Spike when there's no time at all. Alluri has to run away. Job Life, they'll find their fifth, and starting to string these rounds together very, very closely.
Just when you thought that MOUZ lead that they built was good enough, we can see it completely just taken away, 6-2 to 6-5 in just the last 3 rounds, picked up back to back for Job Life. Yes, Vandal's in play. Yes, Yoru ultimate in play for Zus, but Job Life, again, we talked about their defensive reads. Right now, they have a pretty good read on the attack side, and you can already see the pings fast. We're going to see double smokes, Waterfall Heaven, and a fast play through Blue Door. From that raise, it's going to be a fake to go A. Potentially.
Well, they're trying to dissuade anyone from pushing up off B main.
Stun with the door.
Yeah, they've missed it. They've not got Yaz, and he's escaped through in towards the smokes. And now they can position him there. And he's found himself into the backline, just though not thought about. And as they contact in once again, the punishment comes through. Can he double up? No, Robbie BK gets one back. But in this meantime, MOUZ are trying to scramble, find where Yaz is gone, and they've allowed Job Life into the site. Players close by to B, but for the most part, everyone is disconnected, and it comes down to a lot of 1 versus 1s. Obnox slow, finds Yaz, and finds the player that MOUZ were looking for. Robbie BK yet to be introduced from B main, but he's got 2 players close on his trail, and they're coming in through the attacker spawn. It's a topsy-turvy round where you don't know where it's going to go, and it'll come down to these gunfights. If MOUZ can get the trades, Magic first on the board, and it's getting time down close, but MOUZ will get out in the end, even though it was a tentative state.
7-5, MOUZ keep the lead. A good retake, a good job from Obnox to find that pesky Yaz going through Waterfall and trying to get a flank off on that C site.
It's been a great half, ebbs and flows, mostly MOUZ getting the punishments and the early kills, but Joblife have found a lifeline to move into for the second half. Whether they can convert that, that will be the answer, or the question that we'll be looking for. Well, we're going to go straight to a 1 minute break, just wait there. Back, here we are, second half of MOUZ versus Joblife. Still, can Joblife get this done on the defense, or will MOUZ have the advantage on the attack?
This is something where Joblife, I've seen their defense reads, I've seen what they can do, and we saw their cautious approach to MOUZ at the beginning of that first half. A few rounds given away to MOUZ, but it's on MOUZ to prove that they can close this out. That single controller with the breach in play means that they don't really have a whole lot of options for the fakes outside of utilizing that Yoru capacity to be able to teleport across the map. These might be straight up hits. They got the flashes, Paranoia, Yoru, breach. Lots of flashes to go in with and get those picks and entries. It's all about making it all connect.
That's it. Need to connect. Find your way in. The shot's just missing out on the alarm, but they'll get it. And that creates the question mark on the C site, especially with that lurk smoke that's been placed.
It's a lot of doubt in the back of JL's mind, but they don't budge. They know that turret's still up on B. They don't have to worry about that, and they've got Yaz on that A line as well. So until this contact from Fizzy comes, and even then, that's a Cypher. Cypher usually means a lurker. MOUZ putting bodies behind it, though. Know that Joblife aren't going to move from that C position if it's just the Cypher. If they catch Yaz, could be the opening they need.
Has to respect it. Doesn't want to keep and overstay his welcome.
30 seconds
In the
left.
meantime, bodies haven't budged from C at all, leaving Yaz in such a bad spot. Yeah, with the door open, respecting it, and you can see how passive. He doesn't want to take head-on gunfights. The players now making their way on the site, and with the spike being planted, that will be the notification to rotate.
Bringing it down to the wire. MOUZ plant 6 seconds remaining on the clock and get that one-way up on top of CT, realizing that it's going to be a full retake from the side of JL, who has full abilities, but MOUZ with the contact in means the stun's in play.
Yeah, this stun's going to be absolutely massive. The nade, though, and the shocks are on point. That'll at least catch Alluri, but at the same time, oh, there was more players towards heaven. It's Fizzy from the site, though, that gets the better of them and puts MOUZ to the good. But before Magic trades it out, in the meantime, Mikey escaped through stairs. Magic onto the spike. Well, they know where Zus is now, and Mikey's got rid of Obnox. It came down to a 1v1, but there's no time. Unfortunately, MOUZ will get 8.
He is so good in some of these situations, but running out of time. That means JL's going to lose that second half pistol as well. MOUZ really building that lead just from the pistol rounds alone, basically. The Joblife committing to their stack. A good opening with that combo towards that pit area, but the way that MOUZ understood how to get into the A site, they used that Cypher cage on that cross to get behind Rubble, to walk up that right side. They understood Yaz is jump spotting from the site. He can't see us if we walk up on his close left. They get all the way into the site without using a single piece of util, and they have that to stop that retake.
What is this smoke?
They're trying to hide from the Haunted here.
I think it's just been placed wrong by... Oh, it's just Magic that's hiding. Okay. No, instead, every single player is looking to catch one off guard, and it will be Zaz. He's peeked out into 3. So that's the notification. We know that 3's towards A. There is actually 4. So let's try and head elsewhere. But no, they're actually sticking around here.
They left the line. They just had a player spotting from that blue door towards A.
Cage triggered.
Solo pressure from MOUZ as they walk into the A site. Joblife still defending it.
As MOUZ contact through on towards B, I mean, they don't really know about their control of B main. Sure, 3 on A, but 2 players are missing. One which is the KJ close to C. They're taking us a step further, going towards CT, where there's players lying in wait. The pistols just do not hit at all. And now this makes for a pretty tough scenario. Pistols to come out into better weapons. The control, they have none of it. They have to try and re-clear towards heaven. I mean, they've got players out on main. And I think for the most part, Job Life, they don't really want to come into sight cleanly. It should be easy enough. Not before Mikey comes in with his ghost. Could he capture another couple of heads? No, it will not be the case. MOUZ will make the gap 4 rounds between the 2 teams.
My first gun round coming out for the side of Job Life here. They grab that Odin instantly before I can even see the HUD coming all the way up. It's already in his possession. And that's really going to mean that he might be positioned towards that tree room, getting that spam damage off on MOUZ. And MOUZ showing how slow they want to play this game, contacting around, getting that advantage. I was afraid for a moment as they chose to go into B against pistols, but the way that they're able to continue pressing forwards before they go for that plant, I like the foresight that they're showing.
Nice entry already. Kamek gone. Zeus's old teammate from 2022. But in fact, both of them will have to bring out the Sun Lounger as Robbie BK gets the trade through an Odin spam.
Dart to re-clear, spots nothing, and that's the cue for MOUZ to come back to A, thinking that Job Life is gonna leave this a little bit weakened. Robbie still spamming away, trying to get any chip damage, but needs to reload, so he backs all the way up. Tries to play his life a little bit more safe.
Respect what's being put forward, but with B main again in control of Job Life. The 1v1 with Fizzy, if he moves into there, is going to be absolutely massive. That's probably the decider of the round if it does come to it, but Magic, he's investigating. Now they know about Mikey, Magic knows about Fizzy, and there's information on either side for both to capitalise on. Mikey has the door open for him. Fizzy was already low, but a headshot is good enough. Finally, B main has been caught, but Job Life, they've activated straight out into the site, and Yaz getting 2. Another round win for Job Life, the first of the second half.
Mikey is looking so pivotal for these guys right now in some of these moments, getting the exact amount of impact he needs. But of course, the opening pickoff with that Odin through that tree to make this round a possibility off the back of the Sova, IGL, and finally the cleanup. And Job Life finds themselves around on the board, but still light shields on 3 of the players. The economy not in the strongest position right now. Yaz one off of Showstopper as well. And another round that Jail really needs to capitalize on right here.
Who's next?
Job Life respecting the dimensional drift that Zeus is using to gain extra information. MOUZ a little bit delayed and they're scaling up towards the C site. And actually, I haven't really got out just yet. Zeus is TP'd back towards the stack, but decisions haven't really been made and where they want to go here still.
Yeah, this is tough. They got so much space, but they gave it all right back up. They lost that time on it, and the ultimate's gone. Taking that pressure to B to soften up that C site. It might work. It catches Yas, but he got the woo.
I don't know how he's got away, man. He's got 9 lives, and I think he's used about 7 of them in that, like the past couple rounds. Zeus though is continuing on his rampage, and with a low Yaz, it should be easy enough for him to get. Stark though, he's given himself up. Zeus now played in, finds the player that he was looking for on the hunt, but in the meantime, Job Life are looking elsewhere. Kamek tries to get it, but it's Fizzy who doubles up. That will be double digits for MOUZ in the end. And well, now Job Life need to be careful because their economy is starting to get to a bad spot.
Yeah, we saw the light shields. We saw that their economy was going to be in a tough spot if they didn't convert that last round. So giving MOUZ double digits and potentially giving them an 11th round if they choose to do a save here is not an ideal situation they want to be in. They call the timeout. They talk about this round. They also have that showstopper in play with a lockdown. So a lot of pieces that they can work with if they choose to do a purchase here, but they might just only choose to do a Guardian. They're so close to Thrash as well. So many things can come into place for them if they play the round out correctly and they don't give up any sorts of opening duels. MOUZ, obviously, we've seen them slow play the entire game, trying to make sure that they don't walk into any traps, make sure that they go to the right spots and take all the space that they can take before they commit to the site and plant. It's been working for them. 3 rounds to 1 for the second half. MOUZ winning these attack side rounds and edging out that last round as well.
Yeah, I mean, for these players as well, still it'll be about playing to put yourself on the short list, right? I think Ascension is the key scouting point for a lot of teams, seeing how they perform against the best of the best in Tier 2 and see if they are worthy of any Tier 1 spots, any trials. So far, there's certainly a few that you could look at. ZUS certainly putting himself into a position with his attack side up, the way that he plays, the way he's always hitting his shots, but Job Life have a few of their own talents that they need to rely upon. Mikey's been a real shining light, but the rest need to up their game and raise their levels if they're wanting to catch up to MOUZ, especially with this gap of 4 rounds.
We can see the setup. Job Life hoping that MOUZ would go B or go C. They could hit that revolving door, but MOUZ goes A. And a full retake will have to come into play. They do have that lockdown. I wonder if they place that. There's no real counter to it except for a push.
It's ready.
And it's placed.
Yeah, placed. But look at this, as you said, they need to be careful of any push coming forward. And it is ZUS once again, so far forward, but they've denied the space that MOUZ were looking to play in for. But most of the time, post-plant can be a bit deeper. Showstopper can't quite catch Alluri, but it has bought some time. Onto the spike they go. The wingman doing most of the work. In fact, you think there's just a chance, but the aftershock's taking them off and moving into tree. No sound at all. Have to play on the lines of sight that Job Life have. Time is getting low and they need to get a move on. And that move goes back to spawn. It is 11. MOUZ keep walking on.
And MOUZ has to be happy with how that round played out. Job Life used a lockdown and a showstopper on their eco round and weren't able to capitalize on it. If they had gone in and instantly got that spike diffused with that initial pressure on tree, once that showstopper goes off, everyone's vacated that tree room. If that diffuse comes in, there's still a paint shells in play once that revolving door opens a second time. That should be a round that JL could convert.
Kamek looks to put them in the spot to convert this one, at least with that entry onto ZUS. Players immediately looking to send it towards C, not want anything to do with A. Yaz has got so much information by being so far forward. Job Life, they should be able to lean heavier towards this side of the map.
5-on-4. Playing the numbers, Job Life. They made these matches close before, looking to do it again.
Ooh, Thrash is coming out. Is this a flood? I mean, I've got some information off the back of it, but the rest of the utility hasn't come through. Mikey once again looking to be the difference, and there's a difference in utility. That's a massive one, and Knox has set up the rest of the team. It's set up MOUZ, Robbie BK, his spam isn't good enough, and the trait from Alluri is. That is map point on MOUZ's pick against Job Life.
This is huge from MOUZ. So many big moments from some of these players. We saw it all throughout that first half from the side of ZUS with that operator, but now we're also seeing, coming into the fray, we're seeing Stark a little bit more. We're seeing Obnox as well has had some crucial moments, some key kills on some of these rounds to be able to convert the rounds. In Job Life, they need 6 in a row just to bring it to OT on this first map. And yes, it is MOUZ's map pick, but no, this is not the start to a series you want.
Again, the entry being found on the A side by Job Life. Yaz will make it 2 to the good, but MOUZ have fought back before here still. They're heading towards C. Is this the place to do it?
This could be. Right now. Another pick off, and it's just 2 remaining for the side of MOUZ.
One enemy remaining.
Oh, Lurie.
Spike down. C.
Nice. Flashed up. It should be easy to collect. It is a scrappy round, though, still.
A little bit scrappy. The opening picks on the side of JL with the Guardians to open it up, but it needs to be perfect Valorant right now for Job Life if they want to be able to go through. The thing that worries me is that once MOUZ decide to do it, they combo that Dimensional Drift with the Rolling Thunder. Wherever they go, they have a site for free. And they've been doing a decent job in some of these post plants. So that's what I look to. The side of JL, on the other hand, I mean, they have a Hunter's Fury to work with, but they need to get these opening picks. Otherwise, their jobs are so difficult to do. Oh, that's another start.
Yeah, another entry. Hunter's Fury straight in. Trying to see if they can tee up another double down, but they've got pings to go off of. In the grand scheme of things, it's only really information that they've got off the back of it where players couldn't be. And MOUZ are starting to head in towards Mikey, who's been good before. Can't quite hit it this time. The alarm bot giving the jig up. MOUZ should scale into this space, considering Job Life are willing to give it.
You want to take this. A fast flood potential with the Dizzy from Kamek if he wants to do it. Yaz across the map. It would be a 4-on-4.
Oh, magic. That's lovely stuff. The spray transfer and Mikey to get the next spike on the floor of Nux. His utility's been spot on, but his crosshair's placement isn't this time flawless. And I think that comes from the adaptation from Mikey actually playing in front of the one-way and not allowing MOUZ to get that extra space in heaven.
Absolutely. And this is the story that I'm seeing right now from Job Life in the last few days is that the first few rounds are kind of scrappy and maybe even a little bit too loose on some of the players. But once they get their backs up against the wall, that's when they put their, I guess, big boy pants on and try going for, you know, these perfect plays. They're hitting their shots. They're on point. You would almost hope that they would start this a little bit earlier. And now the combo that I was talking about coming into play here, and it's a big task. Mikey again on the A site by himself, but knows what's coming and backs up. That Rolling Thunder, if they don't have to expend it on the site hit, then they have it for the post plant. We already saw how strong that stun is.
Well, they're trying to bust out and flood in through heaven. Robbie finding Zus, and well, because he's TP'd out, they'll get the pings deep. Knowing the space and where MOUZ are, a quick pivot towards the B side. Magic, this is a big position for him. Whether he sticks rounds and hold on, yep, he's going to hold on to the lines of sight.
Spike.
Meanwhile, he's under siege, Spike down, and Magic has got B under lock and key. Stark now, this would have to be something special, and it looks to be. 2 players left. Stark has got this mostly clean, but the paranoia will be his undoing. Job Life, they're starting to get the ball rolling here.
Round by round, they bring it back, and they're only trailing by 3 now. 1 ultimate invested for the side of MOUZ in that round. Their economy getting a little bit low. They could do a partial investment here to keep chipping away at the economy of JL. Only winning that last round with 2 players alive means that these rounds are, you know, even though they're going the way of JL, they're expensive. They're chipping away at the economy, and if it continues to go this way, Job Life might not have a strong enough buy to be able to convert more rounds. But still, it needs to be a perfect game from Job Life, and MOUZ seemingly playing themselves in some of these moments.
I would say so. I think the other aspect to that is as Job Life start to get better and better and the momentum rolls their way into these last pivotal few rounds, it's the ultimates that are going to probably be the deciding factor for me still.
I'd agree so, but I see this dimensional drift, and the Rolling Thunder's not really used to be a follow-up anywhere. They didn't even use it to extend into B And we see the slow shift, the slow transition from that A area into B. They get caught in the open on that transition. Spike goes down, and that's where everything falls apart. So more decisiveness, more speed once they have that read and want to go for that transition from the side of MOUZ. And we're seeing a different story. But 2 Vandals, a couple of Sheriffs, a very light investment here.
Pace change from Job Life coming on towards the A side of things. Utility hasn't quite been hitting from MOUZ, but they're moving out on B. The alarm bot gets destroyed, gives Kami plenty of notification, but he's only good on the first. Robbie at least keeps the advantage in their favour, trying to stop the plant going down in the best possible spot for MOUZ. And as they try to scale up towards CT, that space is actually being given still.
They're happy to give up the space to play the round together. Rolling Thunder still in play for the attackers, but a classic on Illuri and Obnox, 40 HP. That's 1 shot. Take him down by a Vandal. The Spike is going to get re-cleared here by Magic, surely.
He's got the confirmation. Stun will at least stop anything for the time being, but he's escaped to the B site. Well, this explorative nature from MOUZ continues to see if they can get something back. They'll allow Job Life to recollect their players and be main. MOUZ need to find a way out, a place to hold a post plant from, and it seems as if it's going to be Hobbit. That's the Rolling Thunder offline. That's the key piece that you would be using to stall out this retake, to gain something your way. Yaz has got the trade onto Obnox, and just is known about. It will be double digits, and MOUZ, they're starting to let this slip.
A little bit of a slip, but that was an eco, and to be in a man disadvantage like that with the classic, losing that Rolling Thunder, not the biggest deal. I really like how JL played that retake. Mikey was so patient, waited for his teammates to take contact. And the rest of his team pushing through A, getting that flank off on B, staying together, ready to move, depending on which site MOUZ decides to end at. And once they make contact, they're all fighting together. So, 2 more chances for MOUZ to close out this map. Otherwise, it goes overtime. JL, they got that showstopper back on Yaz, but the ultimates reaching critical mass on that attack side, and that is what's scary. This round coming up, are they going to have all the weapons they need, or did they invest a little bit too much in the previous round? We see light shields only, some Vandals, but I don't know if they're going to have any player with heavy shields.
Yeah, and as for Job Life, they've got plenty in their pockets as things get rolling. Just to give you guys an update, it seems to be a peripheral issue on Job Life, and we've got it all sorted and good to go. As you said, critical mass for the ultimates for Job Life, they're slowly approaching that. The lockdown, no real counters unless there's going to be MOUZ having a plan to counter that in terms of the push, as we've said before. But for me, Kamik's Thrash being 1 away, fighting for an orb on C or A would be absolutely massive. They don't opt for it, a much more passive play. Compared to last round where the pacing, pretty fast. And MOUZ have made adaptations and playing this round with a slow start.
Late reclear dart as well, sent across the map.
Cover going out.
Magic holding the space by himself. He's had his teammate, he's had Yaz there on the other times he's played here. He needs to be careful though, because he's alone. We saw what happened earlier, where going down early is not the play that you want to have towards that C area, but a big read and the wrong gamble from JL. They're reading an A play, but it's going to be most likely a C play. The showstopper in play for the retake, but I'm looking at Nightfall and Rolling Thunder, and I know where I'd place my bets on that one, because whoa, that's going to be tough to break through.
I like this though, because the mid-rounding from Job Life has already happened. They've cleared B main. They know that there is not going to be a B play, or most likely not going to be. And Robbie can just hold on to this angle, knowing that nobody's walked past it.
Paranoia needs to go big here to counter this out, to stall them.
If Magic feels as if he's under too much pressure though, he can easily TP out with his ultimate. Still hasn't gone for it. Tagged up. Kamik again, so good at getting the first kill, but it's always the second where he struggles. Time being low, and Robbie BK holding on towards this. Odin should be able to deny. The showstopper trying its best. It's not going to connect, and it's up to Mikey, who can't quite get it done. MOUZ will win the first map for MENA and put themselves at a really good spot for winning this series.
That game came so close as well, but close isn't good enough, and we're going to have to see Job Life crawl it back on the second map, coming up right after a quick analyst segment.